At this point, you've probably seen a bunch of hyped up videos about a 3-star legendary unit crushing their opponent in a single cast. This has become so common that it's barely worth making a video about. But what if we flip the script? Instead of focusing on how powerful they are, what if we focus on how to beat them by exposing their weak points? In today's video, I want to focus on how to beat Senna 3-star. Now, I will be setting some rules to make this more interesting. Rule number 1, the player with the 3-star legendary is not allowed to run any additional units. It's them versus the world. Number 2, the 3-star legendary has a Quicksilver. By adding CC immunity, this challenge becomes a lot more interesting because the unit has to survive for at least 18 seconds and you can't cheese yourself to victory with a full mana Cassandra. This is our rule set. Now let's take a look at what Senna is capable of. In theory, Senna 3-star seems pretty much unbeatable. She deals crazy amounts of damage, grants herself a large shield and hits the entire board. What exactly can you do about this? Well, one solution would be to spam Edge of Night, since the units will at least survive the initial burst, but it turns out this isn't even necessary, because Senna 3-star has a problem. She doesn't hit the entire board. In fact, her ability might have the worst hitbox imaginable. Don't believe me? Here is a short montage to showcase what I'm talking about. As you can see, there are plenty of cases of Senna not damaging units with her ability, even if they clearly are in range. We will be abusing this interaction to get rid of her. Getting through Senna's shield and HP is quite painful, so I want to win the fight with the help of Cassandra. However, since she has a Quicksilver, I need to make sure that my Cassandra is not dying in the first 18 seconds. Two items that are useful here are Zephyr and Edge of Night. Zephyr stalls the fight for 5 seconds, reducing the time that I have to survive to 13 seconds. As for positioning, I simply have to put Cassandra on the opposite side of my team. Senna will attempt to target the largest block, which leaves her side open because units coming from the left won't take any damage. When the timer hits 11 seconds, Quicksilver runs out and Cassandra, who didn't even have any items, perfectly times his ability to kick Senna out. For this specific case, we can also ignore positioning if we give Cassandra one Edge of Night. Since Senna, at least with these items and no traits, will take way too long for her second ability cast, which allows Cassandra to pull the same trick twice in a row. Now you can make the argument that this is easily countered by putting Senna 3-star away from the edge of the board to make sure Cassandra can't kick her out so easily, but let me ask you this. Do you really think it's okay to start sweating this much if you have a 3-star legendary with Quicksilver? All of this is more of a theoretical scenario. Anyways, unless the player sold his entire board to afford Senna 3-star, there should be a bunch of filler units in front of her that receive a massive shield that will keep Cassandra from reaching her. Nevertheless, I thought it was an interesting experiment, and in fact, Senna is not the only 3-star legendary that has some pretty serious flaws that you can exploit. So you can look forward to more videos like this in the future. I hope you learned something, and see you next time.